Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Favorites Bundle of June 2023 to help you in picking your 5 games. If you find this video helpful, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means everything. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Broken Pieces, an indie adventure game set in the fictional French coastal village of St. Axel. The town has been deserted, and only Elise, a woman who recently moved there with her fiancé, remains. Elise tries to uncover the truth behind the town's disappearance, while dealing with shadowy creatures, a military presence, and a cult called the Devoted. The gameplay revolves around Elise's daily routine of exploring the town, solving puzzles, and collecting items. The puzzles can be challenging, and sometimes require trial and error. Elise has tools like a journal, a magical bracelet that controls the weather, and a tape player that provides vital clues. The game's combat mechanics are clunky and unintuitive, detracting from the overall experience. The camera angles can also be frustrating at times, making it easy to miss important details. Saving the game is done by sitting on benches scattered throughout the town. The game emphasizes exploration, puzzle solving, and a narrative rather than horror or combat. The sense of loneliness and isolation in the deserted town is effectively portrayed through the sound design and visuals. While the game starts with a compelling mystery, the ending feels weak and lacks an explanation. Some aspects, like Elise's magical bracelet, are left unexplained. However, the developers released a patch that added some explanation through a tape recording during the end credits. Despite its flaws, Broken Pieces manages to create a desire to explore and uncover the town's mysteries. It appeals to players who enjoy nostalgic adventure games and can be completed relatively quickly. However, players should be prepared for some frustrating aspects and an ending that may leave unanswered questions. At number 2 we have Alfred Hitchcock, Vertigo, a captivating thriller that offers a complex and lengthy story with many unexpected turns. As you play the game, you'll be drawn into the well-crafted narrative that keeps your attention throughout. The developers have successfully created a compelling story that feels like binge-watching a gripping TV show, with surprises at every turn and intriguing character relationships. The gameplay itself is relatively simple, mostly involving watching scenes unfold with occasional quick-time events. You'll experience the story from the perspectives of different characters, allowing you to explore various scenes. However, don't expect much puzzle solving or clue searching. The focus is more on progressing through the plot. One of the game's highlights is the use of hypnosis sessions, where the protagonist, Ed Miller, attempts to recover lost childhood memories. You'll have the opportunity to rewind and replay events during these sessions, uncovering hidden truths that are often darker and more sinister than initially assumed. The storytelling approach keeps you engaged and guessing, as you compare Ed's initial memories with what is revealed through hypnosis. While Ed Miller's character may initially come across as obnoxious and reluctant to seek help, the overarching story compensates for this. The game offers other reasons to continue playing, such as the narrative involving the psychologist, which adds depth to the overall experience. Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo effectively builds tension through its superb sound design, creating an immersive atmosphere. However, the voice acting can be inconsistent, and the pacing of some scenes may feel off, leading to awkward pauses. Additionally, the character models and graphics may not meet your expectations, although certain scenes, such as the bridge and the Miller's lakeside home, showcase interesting design elements. Despite its flaws, Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo delivers a story with surprising twists that will keep you engaged. If you can overlook its lack of polish and are in the mood for a relaxed gaming experience with minimal gameplay, you'll enjoy watching the intriguing story of Ed Miller unfold. And number 3 we have Mighty Switch Force Collection. This collection brings together 4 games: Mighty Switch Force, Mighty Switch Force 2, Mighty Switch Force Hyperdrive Edition, and Mighty Switch Force Academy. In the first game, Mighty Switch Force, you play as Officer Patricia Wagon, tasked with capturing the Hooligan Sisters. The gameplay revolves around collecting these sisters scattered throughout the levels, while avoiding monsters. The controls are standard, allowing you to jump, switch level layouts, shoot, and move the camera. The puzzles in this puzzle action platformer are easy to solve, with timing playing a crucial role. Mighty Switch Force 2 continues the adventure, with Patricia Wagon now a firefighter, rescuing the reformed Hooligan Sisters from burning buildings. The gameplay mechanics are similar, but there are slight differences. The Hyperdrive Edition is an updated version of the original game, featuring HD graphics and challenging hypermode levels. Mighty Switch Force Academy stands out as a favorite in the collection. The puzzles follow a similar pattern, but this time the entire level fits on one screen. Visually, it resembles Pac-Man more than the others, while the other games have a Sonic the Hedgehog vibe. The collection's visual representation is bright and colorful, reminiscent of late 90s and early 2000s arcade machines. The audio blends electronic and arcade-style music, creating a fitting atmosphere. gameplay feels precise, and the level design maintains a good flow with gradually increasing difficulty. Overall, Mighty Switch Force Collection offers clever, old-school mechanics and a modern package. While some of the games may not have aged perfectly, it's a satisfying choice for those seeking nostalgic experiences. The visuals are clean, the audio matches the genre, the controls are easy to grasp, and the level design provides a challenge. And number 4 we have Dreamscaper, an action roguelike game. Unlike many other games in the genre, Dreamscaper offers an emotional experience as players navigate a woman's dreams to overcome her trauma, with her relationships in the real world providing the strength to do so. The game follows Cassidy, who has moved to the town of Red Haven after experiencing severe trauma. In her dreams, she battles through dungeons representing different aspects of her trauma, facing bosses that symbolize specific challenges. When defeated, Cassidy wakes up and the dream restarts. The game features 6 dungeons and bosses to defeat for a completed run. Outside of the dream world, Cassidy can visit various locations in Red Haven to prepare for upcoming runs. She can sketch ideas, meditate, and craft gifts for her acquaintances. These activities unlock new event scenes that delve into the characters' personal stories and deepen Cassidy's relationships with them. The storytelling focuses on emotions rather than a linear plot, gradually hinting at Cassidy's past while exploring current events in her life. The game effectively conveys the character's emotions and addresses relatable issues. Dreamscaper offers a responsive combat system with melee, ranged, and special attacks. Players can choose their loadout before each run, but they should adapt and swap out weapons found during the run for more powerful options. The game provides a variety of weapons and abilities that keep the combat fresh, while smart use of the lucid meter and strategic timing enhance the gameplay experience. Each run involves venturing through different rooms, defeating enemies, and facing bosses. While the game lacks a proper ending, it offers long-term goals and achievements for permanent progression. The game's visual and soundtrack contribute to its immersive atmosphere. Dale North's hauntingly beautiful soundtrack complements Cassidy's personal struggle, while the lack of voice acting and facial feature for characters doesn't detract from the experience. Dreamscaper's biggest drawback is the lack of a satisfying ending, as players are prompted to continue without a clear conclusion. However, the game's atmosphere, engaging gameplay loop, and emotional storytelling make it a strong recommendation for those seeking an atmospheric hack-and-slash title. And number 5 we have Bound by Blades, an indie action RPG focusing on intense boss battles. The land of Ashmere was ravaged by warring clans. One day, a strange power fell over the land and some of its people were blessed with superior abilities and strengths. However, the blessing became a literal curse as those with these powers and those exposed to it in combat started mutating into monstrous creatures. The warring factions came together to fight this new threat. You play as one of the Bound, trained since youth to fight these monsters, and over time have become immune to their transformative effects. You can choose from 3 characters to play as: Tio, a 2-handed sword-wielding cat, Gurren, a bunny with a bow, and Kota, a Nox with a glaive and shield. You can switch between these 3 characters when you're in a safe place in the game world. Characters in this game are interesting to talk to and learn about, but they do feel like common personalities that you can find in most RPG games. You'll exclusively fight against boss-like opponents in this game. When you leave a safe hub, you can choose which boss you would like to fight. You can even repeat previous fights for more loot and XP. Combat is quite interesting as you're put on a 4-plot square where the boss sits in the middle. Bosses will fire their abilities at you, which you'll need to roll and dash to dodge them, while chipping away at the boss's health bar. You have fast basic attacks and slower stronger attacks to murder each boss. You also have the ever important health potions. Successfully murdering a boss will reward you XP points, allowing you to level up your character. You can also craft and upgrade your character's gear, enchanting, and transmogrification. There's also multiplayer co-op available and a pet system that allows you to bring pets along to fights and evolve. Bound by Blades isn't long and you can finish it in about 2 hours, but if you're looking for a more entry-level RPG adventure, this game is a great one to start with. And number 6 we have Song of Horror Complete Edition, a survival horror game. The game draws inspiration from classic horror series like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and focuses on creating an unsettling atmosphere rather than relying on combat. It features fixed camera angles, tank controls, and a paranormal storyline centered around spirits and demons. The game follows the investigation of a missing author and incorporates puzzle-solving elements similar to Resident Evil and Silent Hill. It offers 13 playable characters with unique backstories and traits spread across 5 episodes. The story progressively deepens and becomes more sinister as the presence of spirits and demons intensifies. The central element is a haunted music box that leaves a trail of death and despair. Song of Horror emphasizes exploration, puzzle solving, and detective work, with players needing to find important clues and items to progress. The game's puzzles range from simple brain exercises to more complex challenges involving unexpected elements. The game also includes jump scares, atmospheric music, and a pervasive sense of vulnerability. The AI-driven entity, called the Presence, adapts to player actions and decisions. While the game's visuals are impressive, with dark and detailed environments, the fixed camera angles and tank controls can be frustrating for some players. The controls can be heavy and difficult to handle, especially during intense moments. The audio design is generally strong, featuring excellent sound effects and ambient music, but the voice acting can be inconsistent. Despite its slow pacing and challenging puzzles, Song of Horror Complete Edition offers a unique and atmospheric horror experience. The game successfully captures the essence of old-school horror games and is recommended for fans of the genre. And number 7 we have Creaks, a puzzle platformer game. You play as just some bloke, trying to get some reading in before bedtime. Suddenly, a loud thud rattles the whole house, causing a piece of the wallpaper to fall off. Behind the wallpaper, a metal door awaits, leading to a secret passageway. Of course, being a simple bloke, you crawl in and investigate what is beneath your home. It turns out you have a whole society underneath you, from dilapidated mansions to a small town, home to various bird people, monsters, and robots called Creaks. I wouldn't recommend touching them though, as a single touch will send you straight to hell. Your only salvation underground is light. Creaks are afraid of light, as it turns them into harmless furniture if it touches them. Furniture that you can use to solve puzzles. You control your character directly, and there's no inventory system to worry about. The game progresses through individual scenes, with its own self-contained puzzles. This means that if you're stuck in a puzzle, it doesn't mean that you have missed an item from 5 areas ago. It just means that you need to think harder about what's around you to solve it. Solutions often teach new twists on the rules, creating some eureka moments to expand your solution pool. The story is not told via dialogue, as characters will simply make intelligible noises. Rather, the various scenes presented to you as you move from one puzzle to the next tells a story about the eerie world. While playing through each puzzle, you may find hidden rooms off the beaten path to provide you with some respite. You can find oil paintings, with some even containing minigames. This game is very imaginative, and it will keep you playing just to see what you'll encounter next. It's a beautiful world waiting for you to solve your way through and explore. And number 8 we have Roundguard, a game that is akin to a pachinko machine or Peggle, but with roguelike elements. Castle Springbottom is under attack. Your king has gone missing, and you have to go rescue him, defeating every enemy in your way while collecting gold. It's simple, and it isn't the main focus of the game. The gameplay may seem simple too, like a machine you find where you fire a ball and the ball rolls down from the top, hitting everything it comes in contact with. But this has a roguelike spin to it, and you have access to special abilities. You start by choosing a character class, and you'll progress through a series of stages, defeating enemies and smashing pots to rack up high scores and loot to grow your arsenal. It starts out as simply aiming at the nearest enemy, but as the game progresses, you'll need to think strategically on how to take on each room to better upgrade your character. The 3 classes available, Warrior, Rogue, and Wizard, all have different characteristics and abilities that will change up your game. Warriors are tankier, rogues can double jump, and wizards can cast spells. You'll build upon your character in each run, leveling them up to become more powerful and modifying your gameplay with different items, abilities, and trinkets, making it a bit more like a roguelike on a pachinko machine. If you want to change up your game, you can activate various relics that will make your game easier or harder in your pursuit of a high score on the leaderboards. The gameplay is addictive with a stellar presentation, and you will find yourself coming back for more. And number 9 we have Metronomicon, Slay the Dance Floor, a game that blends RPG and the rhythm genre. The mythical land of Versa and the lands of Karos has been plagued by magical attacks and monster raves. Humans have cowered in fear, and only the students of an Academy of Dancing Arts can stand against these partying monsters. You play as a team of 4 graduates, exploring 5 dangerous dungeons. Even though these are dungeons, you won't do any exploring. Instead, each dungeon features 10 songs you'll need to complete, with the final song being a boss battle. Finishing songs allow you to unlock new songs and challenges. This game features over 40 songs from actual indie artists. It's a solid collection of peppy electronic music to battle to. Facing off against one or more opponents, you'll be fighting for the duration of a song. Each party member has their own note chart, which is how you will attack, cast spells, and buffs. Directional arrows scroll down the chart as the song plays, and you have to hit the correct button on your D-pad or magic face button. Each character can equip up to 3 different abilities, including basic attacks, attack spells, heals, buffs, and debuffs. Each ability requires different levels of input to perform, with first level abilities being quick and easy, while third level abilities requiring the most inputs. Abilities have a cooldown period, so you can't just stick with one character. Instead, you have to go from one character to the next while keeping track of the descending directional arrows to be effective in battle. It takes some mental stamina, but is all part of the fun. After the song and battle end, your team will receive experience, currency, and potentially some equipable items. Leveling up boosts your fighter's stats and unlock new abilities, while equipping various items provide useful boosts and buffs. You can also earn workshop credits from certain battles that can be used to repair and upgrade your university to gain access to multiple team attacks to be used in battle, and a laboratory to craft better gear, among others. You can also play this in local co-op with a buddy, so that both of you can dance your way through the game. Metronomicon is a clever mix between the RPG and rhythm game mechanics. While there isn't a full RPG experience due to the lack of exploration, you do get multiple unique party members to recruit, equip, and level, and a ton of monsters to fight on the dance floor. At number 10 we have Interrogation, You Will Be Deceived, a puzzle game that puts you in the role of a detective leading a task force against the Liberation Front in the city. The premise of the game, inspired by detective movies, will intrigue you. The gameplay of Interrogation revolves around piecing together information obtained from suspects. Starting with minimal knowledge from the police database, you interrogate suspects using various approaches such as intimidation, kindness, or force. By understanding their motives and matching their statements with information from other suspects, you can determine if they are telling the truth. The game provides tools like a heartbeat monitor and a trust monitor to aid in the process. The puzzles are engaging, and there are 2 modes available, an interrogation challenge mode with normal rules and a narrative experience mode for a more relaxed playthrough. In addition to the puzzle aspect, Interrogation incorporates other gameplay mechanics, allowing you to manage your team and allocate resources wisely. The art style of its black and white aesthetic is visually appealing, although the music could have been stronger. Overall, Interrogation offers a satisfying puzzle and detective experience with an engaging story and multiple endings. While the text-heavy nature of the game may be tiring for some, it successfully captures a sense of tension and investment in the task force's future. More world building outside the office and a stronger connection to the city could have enhanced the experience. Despite minor criticisms, Interrogation is highly recommended for puzzle and detective enthusiasts. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is surprisingly great if you're considering some of the games in this list. Sure, there are a couple of repeats, but at least there are repeats of some really good games. In any case, kindly show your support by liking and subscribing to the channel. I look forward to connecting with you in the upcoming video.